Good morning. Thank you for your time. Just explain to us very briefly whether Lungile Kabuza is being victimized, and if so, why?
No, there's no victimization because the EFF is the one that won the seats in Parliament. The seats don't belong to individuals. And the day members of the EFF get personally attached and entitled to positions of deployment, then we're going to start killing each other. These principles are clarified to any member who joins the EFF, particularly those that lead at different levels and those that were voted for in the list conference. We didn't win all seats in Parliament. We submitted names to occupy 400 seats, but we didn't. We got a smaller caucus of 44 members in the National Assembly. As a result, the configuration of that caucus becomes something that must be subjected to the wisdom of the leadership about
what is the criteria,
what kind of interests are needed to balance that caucus.
What is the criteria in selecting members of Parliament? Does it not go in accordance with the list and who is at the top of the list, and so it goes?
No, not entirely. You would remember, for an example, people like Advocate Dalimpofu were right in the first 10, Commissary and Mateis, but you know, towards the swearing in, they were withdrawn. So it's not a criteria about, you know, the prioritization, as it were. The only thing that is important is that the caucus must always be gender representative. It must have as much as possible people from across all provinces so that we've got an impact in all constituencies. It must also be representative of the actual national leadership of the EFF for strategic decisions in relation to the democratically accrued responsibilities to those people so that they are held accountable about the caucus activities. So you have to balance the caucus in that way at all times.
Dr. Ndlozi, let's get on to the matter of the Springboks winning the World Cup.
Yeah, what that about?
Indeed we are.
So I think you must change the script of victimization.
That's fine.
Excellent.
That's fine. Can we then talk about why it is that you're not celebrating this victory?
Well, I think that we have probably been very misunderstood. We admire the type of black excellence that has been demonstrated by the black players in that white-dominated sport in South Africa, white-dominated team. We celebrate them on the basis that it's black excellence, like we do black people who do exceptionally well.
What we players, are unable, why are they not acknowledged?
Well, because there's a problem of white domination in South Africa. There is a problem, in particular in that sporting code. There's a problem of white domination which must still be confronted and still be dealt with. And so, but the second problem that is the victory of the Springbok being mobilized to speak about a false racial unity in South Africa, which we're unable to be part of. There's no together we are stronger together. That entire sentiment is absolutely misleading.
So in your view, what we saw yesterday, what people saw on their television screens yesterday, the South Africans, in fact, who came out in their numbers to line the streets, what should those South Africans think of themselves when they went out there to celebrate? Are those South Africans mad?
No, they are not mad. You see, we're not populists. We speak the truth whether there are millions following a specific idea or not. And that's what the truth is that there's no racial unity. You can go to the streets however you want. There's no racial unity in South Africa. There's no unity between black people and white people. In fact, the problems of the country remain on the basis of racial lines. So you can come out in your millions today to eat out of the euphoria of the Springbok. The reality is that there is no racial unity. I don't care how many millions you mobilize to that reality. It's like millions of people following a false prophet who gives them petrol or who gives them rodents to eat. Indeed, to believe is something that is not stupid, but you can have people in their millions following a false idea. And in this case, if those millions of people on the streets are on the streets because they think there's a racial unity, I can tell you now they are wrong, and you know that to be true too.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Ndlozi. In the interest of national unity, or building unity in this country, is this the right way of going about
Absolutely.
it as the EFF?
Absolutely.
And who do you think is
You've got
listening
to be
the
genuine.
EFF?
You've got to be genuine, Xoli. South Africans must stop living a lie. There are preconditions to specific euphorias having a ground in the first place of truth. The land, questions of wealth, questions of banks. You know, a lot of young black talent are unable to get entrepreneurial funding in many financial institutions because of the color of their skin. A lot of black people, black professionals who are qualified, are being led in corporate by young or even old white people that have not cut their teeth in any school. Those are the realities of South Africa. Until you fix those problems, those will become the preconditions for a sports euphoria to make sense. For a national euphoria about racial unity to make sense. So we're not going to participate in this. In 1995 it was the case, in 2007 it was the case. How many times must you be mobilized on a false idea for you to start believing that it is false and start speaking the truth and expecting truth out of your living conditions? So it's not going to be something that we're going to be part of, because we don't want to live a lie.
Look, the people of South Africa perhaps will be the ones to judge you.
I'm the people of South Africa as well, and I'm making a contribution.
As a political party.
I'm making a contribution that South Africans, let us stop living a lie.
All right. Dr. Ndlozi, we'll leave it right there. He is the spokesperson of the Economic Freedom Fighters.